Comparing to when you were younger, what is the like one insecurity of yours that you're like, man, I overcame that, and now like that is not anymore any longer a insecurity of me.
It's so funny because I talk about this with many clients about having a podcast and how important is a podcast, because in this platform I find a lot of healing and a lot of, you know, moments that I didn't realize. And I just had a moment right now with that question. And it's the biggest compliment that I get. My biggest insecurity as a little girl was my hair. And it's the one thing I took away. I shaved my side. I wanted it not to be that. And it's funny because a lot of people, will you let it grow? I'm like, I know. Because my hair is just like my daughter's, super curly. And I didn't know how to manage it. And back then, it's not all the technology there is today or anything. So I wanted to take everything away in the sense that, and I did that when Gianfranco was born. I was 26. It's been 14 years since I cut my hair. But I never realized when I was a little girl, it was one of my biggest insecurity, my curly hair. And now I see my daughter's hair and I love her curls. And I never knew like what the heck I was thinking. So it's so funny that this platform always find a way to dig dirt on me and find a way of healing. And that's amazing.
I don't want this just to be like me asking you questions. So
Why
go
you want me
ahead.
to ask you a
Ask
question?
me a question, Tia. Since you are the host, and I don't know why I'm asking you so many
You know
questions.
what? It's because I love when people ask me questions. I tell you, it is a healing moment when people just, you just never thought about that. And you, not for nothing, but Leticia has really good questions. So,
Thank you.
Leticia, what is one insecurity that when you were a little girl? And no
I think
crying, please. I'm just
no,
kidding.
no. I think growing up, I've always been like a sports kind of girl, and I think everyone kind of like started looking at me kind of like a little boy, and it's just like that definitely was insecurity of mine
Yeah.
growing up with two older brothers and then people like because I wouldn't play with dolls or I mean I would, don't get me wrong, my mom would give me like those, I don't know if they have it here, but it's like a poly, it's called poly,
Oh,
but I
yeah, the tiny one that comes in a little box.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I would play with that, but I was more into sports. Like have always been a sports kind of girl. So growing up, and then whenever I start like wearing dresses and skirts, I don't wear that very often, just whenever I go out. But but I think that's like definitely became something that is always on my unconscious
Yeah.
side, and that I learned to don't care whatever like people want to think of me. But I think that's definitely something that it's always like in the back of my mind, like, oh, she has larger shoulders, I play tennis, of course
Of
I'm gonna have
course.
it,
Of
like
course.
I thick legs and stuff like that. So I think that's definitely something that I have been working on, and I guess I have a few years until my 40s to work on that.
You know what? It's funny because talking about both insecurities, it's what we embrace right now. I embrace my hair the most, and you embrace your free soul, sportiness, badass looking, her shooting with a drone on one wheel, board, skateboard. And we learn how to embrace that at a young age, that I think that's what made us the strongest. So that was basically like our personality. And to me was that a lot of people's like, when did you decided to cut your hair? When did you? I'm like, and I just didn't realize it was that. I just wanted to be free from having what people wanted, the straight hair. And then my curly hair was a mess to curl up. Like, believe me, now that I have the little girl, now I'm going through it myself. God is like, you don't want to go through it now, you're gonna go with your daughter. um but those insecurity made us who we are. And it's a blessing because a lot of people don't have that evolution side in them.